I'd like to believe that The Apprentice was a big hit because I was such a superstar in the first season. Sometimes, you have to step back in order to have a clear view, and I recognize I was going down the wrong path with Trump. Donald Trump was sharp, he was very perceptive. He was engaging. He had this expansive vocabulary, and he very seldom took breaks. Every critic, every detractor, will have to bow down to President Trump. It's everyone who's ever doubted Donald, who's ever disagreed, whoever challenged him. It is the ultimate revenge to become the most powerful man in the universe. In some ways, I was looking for a father figure, and I found that in Donald Trump. I knew I had to cover my back and document what I saw as an opportunity to kind of blow the whistle on a lot of the corruption going on in the White House, and I knew that I needed to document that corruption, otherwise, people would not take it seriously. Let me be crystal clear, I love doing television. I will not be silenced. I will not be intimidated. I'm not going to be bullied by Donald Trump. There's one way to shut Donald Trump down, and that is don't give him the oxygen. And the oxygen comes from the clicks, the likes, the shock, discussions. I focused my mind and energies on short-term Trump problems, which allowed me to avoid thinking about my own long-term Trump problem of having given him the benefit of the doubt for more than a decade, despite having many reasons not to. Donald J. Trump is not only a racist, but a misogynist and a bigot. I grew up in poverty, so I thought, I want to be a billionaire one day. I'll go and work for Donald Trump. I'll go try to be on The Apprentice and be successful. But 15 years later, I never would imagine that he, as the President of the United States, would call me a lowlife. I'm not a doctor. I can only assess that Donald Trump that I knew in 2003 and the Donald Trump that I knew in 2017, and he is not the same man. The moment I decided to blow the whistle on a lot of the corruption going on in the White House, there are protections that are afforded to me. Donald Trump talks about everyone behind their backs. Sarah Huckabee stands in front of the country and lies every single day. Every time the Trump people challenge me, I bring the receipts. I wanted to be a billionaire. It was important for me to join the White House because as I looked around Trump's inner circle and campaign, there were not a lot of African Americans, particularly African American women, uniquely positioned to serve as a member of the senior staff, to serve as an assistant to the president. I need to point out that African Americans are not a monolith and do not operate in groupthink. I met Donald Trump in 2003 on a reality show. Could you ever imagine then that we would end up in the White House together? No one can understand how close a marriage actually is. You just don't know. With a husband and wife, they have a special connection. If you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. Donald Trump was my friend for 15 years. The White House that I worked in, that Trump administration, it was troubling. And it was very difficult. I got to sit in the inauguration of Bill Clinton, Bush, Obama, and when we got to the Trump inauguration and they said this was the largest crowd size, I'm like, man, I've been to a lot of inaugurations. This wasn't the biggest crowd size. But I didn't want to be the one to break it to him. I believe the first reason that Donald Trump is running for president is because he truly believes that he can help turn the nation around. The second reason I believe is that this is the greatest position in the world, to be at the center of political power of the universe. What does not come across on paper for Donald Trump is how incredibly charismatic he is, his ability to connect with people. Because he has this bigger-than-life personality, you don't realize how personable he is. You never want to be on the receiving end of Donald Trump being disappointed in you. Everything that you see in Unhinged that's quoted can be verified as documented and corroborated. There are different facets to everyone. When you're at work, you're a different person. When you're with your friends, you're a different person. The only person I worry about pleasing is God, my husband, my family, and myself. I'm a huge UFC fan. I train. I do jiu-jitsu, taekwondo. I believe that we should keep the truth as a priority. All we need to remember is that Trump loves the hate. He thrives on criticism and insults. He delights in chaos and confusion. Taking to Twitter to call him names only fuels him and riles his base. I want to see this nation united as opposed to divided. I don't want to see a race war as Donald Trump does. I am a reality TV legend. I am most famous for the first season of The Apprentice, and then I had an opportunity to work in Washington in the Trump White House. The one thing that I learned from politics is you have to know how to watch your own back, and in some instances, you gotta watch your front, too. I'm exceptional in everything that I do, and I aspire to do. I'm pretty sure that the world doesn't know that I am a Big Brother superfan. I check Trump every time he says something crazy. I told him to stop calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. As Donald says, I am his Valerie Jarrett. Everything that we say has consequences. I mean, words matter. I'm a die-hard Hillary Clinton supporter. I am going to pray for Donald Trump. I'm going to pray that God gives him clarity, that God gives him the ability to impact people's lives positively. It is an honor to serve your country, and if Mr. Trump called me to serve this great nation, I would proudly do whatever role he deems my talents are significant for. I would not make the mistake of ever speaking for Mr. Trump, because he does so well with being candid and direct with the voters.